as well. Man, Rahul is just quick on that live button lately. All right, cool. We're live on Facebook as well. What is going on, Facebook land? I believe we're in both the groups, right? We're the GSD Crusaders. So what's going on, everybody? All my VIPs that are in here. We've got about, 8 or 9 people on here too for the VIP training today. It's going to be a good one. We're going to go over some more content-based stuff since people seem to be getting hyped up about that lately. It's good for us to continue the train. A couple quick points of action. If you're out there right now in GSD land, one of our groups, one of our places, drop me a hashtag live. If you're here with us now, please and thank you. It engages the algorithm, all of that good stuff. If you see this in the future, I'd like to get a hashtag replay for the same reason, really, just because it engages the algorithm. If you want to be one of the very important people, I don't know if you knew this, but that's what VIP stands for. If you want to be one of the very important people, close to our heart, in our family, all that good stuff, and not only get to sit here with me and Rahul and talk to us inside the chat as we're doing these trainings, but also get access to our private VIP sessions afterwards where we really go deep in the paint and really kind of just answer any questions people have about these trainings and questions outside of these trainings, right? We give you guys the space, the time, all that kind of stuff. If that would be at all interesting to you, and you'd also like to check out our one-of-a-kind Agency Foundations 2.0 course, which we've had a few people go through and say that shit was absolutely mind-blowing and better than the high-ticket courses that they've bought. Not to pat myself on the back since I shot most of those videos, but that's what they say, right? So bonuses, bonuses, bonuses. And oh, by the way, also get access to a 24/7 networking chat, which in my opinion is the best part of the whole thing. I mean, me and Rahul kick ass. We do. But the networking chat, which I think I describe here, right? Access to an elite network is really you being in a room with about 150 to 200 other people. What is that noise? That's
you keep going. I'll do the muting.
All right. 150 to 200 other people who are all looking to grow, right? I always say to Rahul every like 6 months or so, I'm like, you know what? Our friends are stale. We're going to go buy new ones. We're going to go find some new people to be around, right? And so that's what you guys get to do. They're in there helping each other all the time, which I'm personally just, super proud of. And if you want to sit with me and Rahul face to face all the time, get into all these trainings, do all this stuff, guys, for the holidays, we left the $7 a month one option up. So if you want to get a part of that, just let us know in the comments, hashtag VIP, okay? Hashtag VIP down below. If you're sitting out there in Facebook land and you're feeling kind of lonely, and you'd like to hang out with, we got about 13, probably be about 20 people on here by the time this is over. And you want to sit face to face with myself and Rahul, get some time with us, ask the questions and help level up your business, right? To 6 figures, beyond, all that good shit. It's $7, man. Skip Starbucks this week and get it done. That's it. That's my spiel. So today we're going to be talking about some cool shit. As you guys know, if you're a part of any of our groups or our profiles or our YouTube channel or our LinkedIn or whatever random assortment of things Rahul has us streaming to today with his fancy tech, then you probably have seen us post content. Some of that content, some of you out there might have purchased something from us. Some of that content, you guys might have actually talked to one of our setters and our sales team through. Some of that content may have led you to buying something high ticket, low ticket, mid ticket, or even got you into the groups right now where you're sitting here watching this stuff. It's funny how that works, right? When you hear us talk about organic marketing a lot, which you do, you probably wonder, what is it that I got to do? What's the strategy behind it? What is the concept here, right? And so today I'm going to take you guys through 3 specific post/content types. So 3 types of content. What did those 3 types of content do? Well, they led to us making 7+ figures last year alone, and that's before we got to ad revenue. Meaning just off of these post types that we're going to go over today, just off of these post types alone, we were able to generate multi 7 figures. And that's something that I'm going to walk you guys through, specifically what those post types are. Some of you guys might have heard some of these before, but we're going to talk about how strategically they get to layer in with one another. We're going to talk about different sub post types. I might even do a couple of examples. And if you guys want to really see some written examples and all that, I'd go back a couple of weeks and watch the training that we did on 30 days of content in less than an hour. Pretty good. Just saying. Go back and watch that to see me write some examples and take some of this stuff to the house so that you can make that work. But specifically what we're trying to do, right? The two core pieces are conversion content. This is type number one. Then we have teach them how to think content. And then we have value content. Okay, now each one of these types of content have a strategic purpose. So before we even get into all of this, I'm going to show you guys what we use as a content calendar. So all the students in all of the variations of our program get a content calendar and all of the different things that we have. And you'll see, teach them how to think content, document, two-step, big bold question. You're going to see in a minute when I list out different post types, what all of these different things are. But you'll see they're very much laid out in a way. So what are we doing? We're teaching people how to think differently. And I'm going to go over this in a second. Then we're documenting results. And then we're asking for something. Then we're drumming up engagement. We're teaching people how to think. We're drumming up more engagement. And then we're asking for something. So we're doing these purposefully in order, right? And so sometimes what we're trying to do is we're trying to say, we've got to fill up a bucket. Right? We've got to drum up conversation. We got to drum up conversation. We got to fill up the value bucket. We got to create a reason for people not to think that we're just asking all the time. You know, any fans of Gary Vee out there will recognize the jab, 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 right hook, right? And it's designed specifically to get you to where when you ask for these things, when you make these asks, right? And the mission post is very much just, hey, here's my scary offer, right? Two-step posts are like, hey, do you want this thing? What we just did post is document. I'm about to do it. Here's a straight offer post document, right? Big bold question. We're doing this stuff specifically for the purpose of drumming up all the way to the ask. Okay. And the ask, right? As you probably guessed, the ask is the conversion content. So when we're looking here, we're asking, okay, well, how do I ask for stuff? Well, this is the purpose of the conversion content. I've actually got, I think, documents for the conversion content. Yeah. So the conversion content, the purpose of it, right, is to create conversions. Wow. Imagine that. It's right in the name. To get permission to move into people's inbox, right? To get people to say, it's okay now for us to take this relationship, this conversation to a more intimate space so that we can have a more meaningful conversation. So this is all making sense, by the way, guys. If you're out there in Facebook land or you're in here in the Zoom and the VIP, I need to wake you guys up a little bit. Drop me a 1 in the chat so that I know you're still with me. Because if not, I can just go to sleep too, right? And we can all just, you know, sit here staring at one another, not paying attention to anything. There we go. Ones. Cool. Rahul, we got people alive out in Facebook land, or are they all sleeping on us?
Yeah, we got some people. Whoever's tuning in really quick, we're about to get into the crux of this. So right now is a good time to tell us what you do on Facebook, so it'll be more helpful. So as we're doing this, we can maybe pull up some examples. And also you guys here on Zoom, turn your cameras on. It's going to be way more intensive for you guys to actually get a result versus kind of just listening in the background. We just like to also see cool faces like Frank's, Trent's, Johanna, iPhone, Luis, Robert. I guess Robert's AI. And who else we got down here? Arnell, welcome, brother. I think today's your first day with us. Jesse and Howard. If you guys, and Tiki, if you guys can throw on your photos, awesome. Love to see you guys. We got Jeff Neville's in the house coming into the waiting room. And you guys in Facebook land, you're not alone. I know you guys aren't here on the Cool Clubs thing on Zoom. You're more than welcome to be on here. The link is in the chat or in the stream. But let us know where you're from, and also like what do you guys actually do for a living? Like, who do you sell to? That would be important for us to know. We got Solar SaaS. You're at an event, no problem, man. Glad you're tuning in from an event. Slang some deals while you're there live. Cool. Got some more faces on here. All right, we got the young buck Trent in the house. Welcome, man. Good to see you. All right, we got some happy faces for you, Cody. Now we're going to get diving deep into this type of content. And now you may have heard some of these strategies before. And if you're a digital marketer, you should have. So it should land a little differently. There's differences in levels of content. It's either binary, it works or it doesn't, right? So if it's not making you money, it doesn't work. You're just posting just stuff. Now, when you want to make it work, that's what Cody's going to be covering through this training. So who's down for making content that fucking works? Not just posting shit, and then getting burnt out and then saying, why me? Poor fucking me. Right. It's not poor you, it's poor lack of skill. And let's increase that skill level so we can create influence. Okay. Was that a good setup for you, man?
Yeah, let's do stuff.
All right. Put some pressure on you, man. Bring your fucking A game, brother. That's like asking Michael Jordan to make the winning basket, right?
Looking at a whole bunch more faces though. That's nice. That was the biggest success you had, was you got robots to stop being robots and now they're people. Good.
There are people there. Yeah, these aren't bots, they're people.
It's good to remember that. All right, guys, back to this conversion content. What are we doing? We're creating conversions. We're getting permission to move into an intimate space. And we want to tell people what we do, who we do it for, and that you're good at it. How often should I be posting this type of content? This one specifically, conversion type pieces. How often should I be doing it? I'm doing it a minimum of twice per week. We want to be making an ask twice per week. Now, why is that? Well, one, because if we want to make more sales, guess what you got to do? You got to make more offers. You got to have more conversations. So you got to be posting stuff that's going to start those conversations. But the other thing is, especially in the beginning, we got to be okay with the fact that some of this shit's going to flop. You're going to make a post and no one's going to give a shit. And you're going to go, oh, that sucks. That's really sad for me. And then you're going to turn around and a couple of days later, you're going to post something that says something else and you're going to hopefully make that one work. We can't do that. We're testing nothing every week, then we're going to get a whole bunch of nothing back, right? But if we blow that off and we try something else, and we're posting a couple of times a week, we get to test different angles. We get to test different messaging and make sure that shit's going to actually work. Now, what are the types of conversion content? Two-step posts. Let me give you a few good examples of some two steps. Right? So if you look at my profile, you've got one pinned to the very top. Now, the best kind of two-step posts are using the scary offer formula. And if you don't know what that is, drop a hashtag scary offer in the comments of this video, and we'll get the training, the direct scary offer training, which is, I believe, housed inside the group. We'll get the replay over to you. So you want the scary offer replays, you don't know what that is, hashtag scary offer in the comments below out there in Facebook land, and I'll be sure to get it to you. But we want to take that formula and apply it to a short, simple, normally color background post. And you'll see we've been doing a few of these lately. So you see we closed 10 new clients in 3 weeks with a simple system, Facebook ads for our agency. Now we want to give you the full process, 100% free, one in. So we're taking something that we've done, a training, a cheat sheet, a process, a graphic, something, and we're giving risk reversal in the sense that we're going to give it to you for free. We're adding a specific big end result and customer language to it, and it works, right? Closed 162 members at this thing on our list under 30 days, right? Free group, want it? Just did a 45-minute free training on how we grew 3 groups to 7 figures in revenue. Want the replay, right? And you'll see 85 comments here, 110 comments here, 720 comments here, right? When you do that stuff correctly and you use that formula, right, you're able to generate a lot. And guys, if you go back again, as we did in the other day, we did one of the last couple, and I see a couple of you guys dropping the scary offer thing inside the Zoom chat. Go to Facebook and drop it on the comments. So that our team can get that over to you, because we won't be, our setters and stuff that are actually going to give you guys those assets aren't going to be in here. So head over to the Facebook group, the free one, drop it in the comment under the replay. Mission post. So 2 steps are taking those assets. So if you haven't seen the process for this, is super easy, guys. Go back, watch the 30 days of content in under an hour training we did a couple of weeks ago on the replays. And we specifically, I showed you we basically create endless 2 steps just by listing out what you do, listing out your scary offer, and then having a couple of additional pieces to the pie there. And you just pull all of those using the scary offer formula, and you can endlessly create these. Mission post is literally just a restatement of your scary offer. So if we're saying something along the lines of, your scary offer is, I help realtors add 30 appointments every 30 days. It's saying, I'm going to help 5 more realtors add 30 buyer appointments in the next 30 days. Want to be one of them, right? You're just restating your scary offer. And that's why we only do this. The scary offer, the mission post one, we're probably only going to be recommending, I'll do it once every month. Okay. Because once a month is enough, because you're making just a straight offer. Like, here is my scary offer. And then you want to build your audience for a couple more weeks, and then you want to do it again. Launch posts is a longer form. And we see some of these examples down here, a longer form, straight up launch post, meaning this is my offer. Here's all the different details of it. This is one that we did for real estate specifically a while ago, a long time ago, right? Steal the toolkit. You can see exactly how this all works. And you guys in the VIP, you have these sheets, by the way, inside the Agency Foundations course. They're all inside of the content part of it. So if you haven't looked at them, I'd say go check it out. But you'll see it's literally just a straight offer. You know, this, create a scroll stopping image. I did this myself like a jackass on Canva in like 20 seconds, right? I like to make it rain money on all my images, and then I put myself a few times and then put the offer. I would actually, if I could go back, put a scary offer on here instead of just saying, hey, this random ass thing is open, but that's up to you guys, right? And then it's just a long detailed post about all the shit that you get for actually buying it. Do you want to buy it, right? So that you can say, do you want in? Comment down below in the comments. Doing that is a straight offer post. The admission post is a straight offer post. The bold questions, right? These are engagement questions. These are literally just specifically designed to get people to want to talk and engage on your product. Who here uses Facebook for organic marketing? I have something special for you, right? And then it goes down. Okay, cool. Look at all these people. We can now start conversations with, talk, shoot the shit. Whether you do or do not, in this case, right? People are going to make a comment. They're going to say something about it. You can see another
real quick on that pull that last post up for me one more time. All right. So like, just think about this post, like thinking logical steps, right? Left foot in front of the right foot and vice versa. Just you start walking. Now, the next logical step here, who's using Facebook for organic marketing? I have something for you. If they raise their hand, they're clearly have a deficit in what their marketing could be. So it's a natural progression to the raise of intimacy, because there's levels of intimacy in this content, but we always think, what do we want them to do from this post if it's something we want to get some engagement from? So we're trying to discover who needs help with their marketing is what we're really asking in this question. I have a special gift for you. Now, when people start commenting and we start to DM them, we're going to start raising that intimacy. So it's from post, stranger, comment, check your DM, and then the DM process will lead to like, hey, what are you currently doing for organic? Like, where do you feel it could be falling off a cliff for you? Or is it going really well? What areas are you trying to improve? Are you posting a lot and not getting the result you expected? I guess what's happening? We're leading them into a solution that we do provide. So think of your next logical step off of your big post. Like, this is a post that got 111 comments. Let's just assume there's 40 to 50 people with all the back and forth responses. That's 40 or 50 people we would never been able to have a conversation on. And guess what? If Cody, like, here, like, send me the link to that post really quick, or put it in the Zoom chat. Once you guys, we're going to do a live exploratory here. So you see the date 2020. Everybody pull that post up for me right now. Open it up in your browser. Drop it one in the chat when you opened it up. And comment on it right now. Now what you're going to see, the reason for this exercise, tell me once you've commented and then I'll keep talking. So one in the chat once you've already dropped me, I want it. Please share it, whatever you want to say. So you can see the pop-ups. We got Jen did it. Fred. Okay, a couple more guys, please post. All right, Fred's in the house, Jen's in the house. We got Arnell, Megan. Okay, cool. The rest of you keep going. So now what's going to happen, this 2020 asset, these are assets of value. These are miniature lead magnets that are going to never go away unless Cody decides to delete the post for whatever reason. Watch, if you guys bookmark this or keep the browser open, tomorrow you're going to see that post start to trend now. We call that bumping posts. So now this asset of value falls in line what we do. It's just going to retrend because of you guys. So I appreciate you guys for commenting.
Yeah, so that's actually a hack right there, ninja shit. So we go back all the time. In fact, just to push that even further, right? We have a sheet that I've told you guys you should be doing something similar to yourselves, doing this where it's like, here's all the posts and here's all the stuff, so that our team can literally go back every now and then and do that, bump the post and get it back in front of the algorithm, because it puts it back into the news feed. People see it if they liked it before, which this probably means that they did. Other people will see it, not realize it was from a couple of years ago, and start commenting on it, and we'll be able to reactivate that each time. right? And Jen, that's just a generic sheet. All it is a Google sheet that has a tab. It says GSD group, and then it says post link, post copy, how many comments were on it, so that I can go back and click that link and see that every time, right? So you'll see like this just actually lets me go back, click on it again in the past, and go back to it and redo that. But it lets me reuse posts, right? Like this post, for instance, on my profile, this two-step I'm showing, specifically, this is actually like the second or third time that we posted it. Because the first time we posted it right after it happened, and then it worked, it got like 300 comments, and then we posted it a second time and it got this many comments, right? So it allows you to keep a nice little grouping of all of your stuff so that you don't have to consistently go back and do that. So here's another example of I believe a question post, right? Are you struggling to do this? If you haven't, let me know. I got something special for you. So another one where it's like, basically, are you struggling to create daily content that actually generates clients? Are you quitting on Facebook organic for yourself, right? It's all of this stuff is drumming up conversions, drumming up conversations, drumming up other stuff. Example of a mission post here, right? For you to be able to see, we're going to take 5 more agencies past 30K months in the next 90 days. Do you want to be one of them? Right? Anybody that says yes on here, right, is a good prospect for our stuff. So you're able to, this is just a complete iteration of specifically our scary offer for it. So you can see conversion-based content, right, is specifically designed to start those conversations, to tell people what you do, to get permission to move into people's inboxes. It makes it really easy, right? It makes it simple for us to be able to go through and do that. Now, second type of content, going to number 2. Does that make sense? Before I move on from the conversion-based content, is all of that clear? Not just the what, but the why? Drop a 1 in the chat or a 1 in the comments out in Facebook land and go from there. 1. So 2 out of 20. Everybody else is asleep. There we go.
Yeah, Fred copied your post. Perfect. Okay. I actually did the same thing. I saw Cody's post on his profile. I literally copied it and pasted it. And then there's like 200 some odd comments on it, like 24 to 30 hours later.
Cool. Shit works. It works. To quote somebody who may or not be in here. I don't know. I don't think he is, but it works, guys. It works. So now teach them how to think content. What is teach them how to think content? Well, the purpose of it is to teach your audience to think differently about your service, you, and their own mindset. We want to be shifting their limiting beliefs, such as money scarcity and other common objections that you're running into before you ever get onto a sales call with them, right? We're trying to tell stories, use metaphors, document your own results and your clients' results and your own systems, all so that your people will think differently about investing into you, about spending money on marketing, about creating a relationship with a coach, whatever it is that you know they're struggling with. Now, the easiest way to do this is to set up at the beginning to sit down and list out as many common objections as you know you're going to be running into or that you have run into. If you have experience on sales calls, use that. Sales calls, by the way, are the absolute best source of customer research you could possibly find. So if you're not listening to your own sales calls, if you're not listening to your team sales calls, if you're not reviewing your conversations, especially the ones that don't close or ghost you or whatever objection you couldn't get past, and amalgamating that into stuff that's going to help you differentiate yourself from the pack, you're missing out on a huge opportunity, a gold mine, a wealth of information that you could be leveraging in your marketing, your future sales processes, your content, your ads, all of that stuff. So you need to be doing that. And when you list all that stuff out, right, then you can start to create posts. So the type of content we got here, right? Story posts, live stories. So go live and just talk the shit. If you don't like to be on video, then write them out as long form. Live Ask Me Anythings. Document, don't create. What does that mean? Literally just means go and show people shit that you're doing or that your clients are doing or that you're doing for your clients. If you don't have clients, then just go live and set something up. Do the work you say you can do, right? Show people what you do, who you do it for, and that you're good at it. Document your work, document your clients' wins and successes, tell people what you do, that you're good at it, right? How often should this be done? 2 or 3 times per week minimum. So we say 2 or 3 times for this one, 2 or 3 times for the other one. We got about, 4 to 6 pieces of content. We got about 1 other day Imagine what that one other day will be for value, right? That we just talked about a second ago. Stuff that I want to show you guys here for different examples. Metaphor story post. So this one specifically, I'll probably post this same post. This happened last January. We're coming up on this January. I will probably post this same post and put 2023 on it. Still resonates. Metaphor still makes sense. And you are still running into people right now that are actually saying, well, I gotta wait till after the holidays. I think, you know how January is. I'll just wait until February so everybody's back and rested and has all their money in order. Everybody's always going to have that I'm going to wait until next week excuse. Because humans, just as a psychological condition, always think that tomorrow for some reason is going to be better than today. How many times have you personally, if you're being honest with yourself, and drop this in the comments on Facebook or in here in the Zoom chat, have ever said to yourself or said to the person on the other line that next week was going to be perfect timing for doing this thing, and then next week never came? And when you think back on it, you know full damn well that deep down inside, that was going to be the case. We trick ourselves. Grass is always greener, right? That next client, that next dollar. But once we get that next dollar, it's not as easy to spend it once we have it. Everybody's always rich until it comes time to write the check. There's a reason. People say that shit. Cliches are like that for a reason. And that kind of stuff we can fix a little bit. Not always, but a little bit by telling stories, right? We want to change that mindset because this is very much a don't let trying to be perfect stop you from being great moment. Because the waiting until tomorrow or the waiting until next week is that you're trying to make sure that your situation is perfect before pulling the trigger. But if you don't take a risk, there's never going to be a reward, right? Because I'll tell you right now, tomorrow's never going to be perfect. Even if that thing that you're waiting on happens, something else bad is going to happen in between. And so the good and the bad, it's balance. It's the way the universe works. And so now we're telling a story like this. Right now you're on the whole starting line of a whole new year. You get to be one of two people. You can be the one that looks around to the track, trying to figure out the perfect way to start the race, the perfect lane to run, how long to sprint versus save for the finish. Or you can be the guy who just puts their head down and starts the race. Now that person almost always falls on their face, but guess what? The other person sees that and still doesn't get off the line. They think, how do I avoid that? How do I run the perfect race? Well, they continue to be stuck. The other guy just gets up, he gets shit done, and he continues forward. Now, one of these people becomes a success by taking imperfect action, and the other person let trying to be perfect stop them from being great. You're on the starting line of a whole new year. Which one are you choosing to be? Right? That's a metaphor post. And metaphor post means I'm going to tell you a story that is a metaphor, but I'm going to theme it back to what I think you need to do. Everything here is trying to teach them how to think differently about something. So we can't just tell the story. We have to be theming it and looping it back around to the thing that we're trying to teach them to think differently about. Otherwise, what the hell is the point? Right? This is making sense, guys. Again, drop a 1 in the chat, in the comments, wherever you guys are out in the world. Then we go to a story post. So here we're talking about our own personal stuff, right? This is our own personal stuff. And you'll notice I don't give a shit that I had 20 likes or so, but 2 comments and it was Rahul, right? But I don't give a shit because people are reading it. I'll tell you that right now because we have people that reference this stuff. These types of posts often, sometimes you'll get a lot of, good feely people that are like, I love that shit. But a lot of times people will just sit there with it and they'll be like, fuck, that makes sense. They might like it and move on, but that you just want them to read it. And so this is telling a story of itself. Owning a business roller coaster, ups and downs. A few years ago, we faced one of these dips. Clients were leaving. This was happening. We booked 6 calls for the team, call after call, nothing, dead leads. Had an emergency meeting, no notes, no nothing. All we did, we committed to invest, right? We came up with this thing. We did this change and made this money and then created this end result, right? This is a personal story. And it's trying to start with a pain point that your people experience, or start with the mindset issue or objection that that they have, right? Trying to say the whole I was you thing, I thought that way too. And this is the pain that caused me. Right. And they're going to think it's got to be a pain that you know that they'll have, because a lot of you guys are the niche, or at least were the niche that you want to serve. You know these people, you were these people, or you are these people. So tell your story in a way that relates to them. Tell them what you did to overcome that and how you now want to give and provide that to them and help them do the same for themselves. There's nothing more relatable than a story, whether it's a personal story, a client story, a metaphor story. That's the kind of shit that can have the power to change somebody's perspective before they ever even end up on a sales call, right? And so then we've got the concept of repeating the theme. So when I'm saying theme, right, I keep saying the word theme. I mean it so that you can know that, you want to repeat this message. If you do one post and throw your hands up in the air and say, woohoo, pat yourself on the back, you probably aren't going to do what we're talking about here. But if you're repeating that message through metaphor stories, through personal stories, through videos, through documentation, through all of this shit, you'll get your point across. For instance, I picked 2 for this year, basically. And if you guys have been on these calls specifically, any formation of it, our free trainings, these VIP calls, all of this shit, you have heard me repeat that story that I just, metaphor story that I just did over and over and over again. You have heard me repeat the 2 people at a gym metaphor over and over and over again. That is not by accident. These are chosen examples because, yes, I think that they're good examples, but it's also because those are the 2 things. I don't think you should have too many themes. I think if you do that, it's going to be oversaturated. But if you pick a couple of things, right? So what am I doing? We'll get meta here for a second. What have I been doing, right? I know that there's been a lot of coaches and a lot of programs and a lot of people getting fucked over and tired of shit that doesn't get them results and this, that, and the other fucking thing. But we ran into a few objections like that along the way. It's like, man, I'm just so tired of some of this shit. Okay, cool. So then the 2 people at the gym metaphor was born, because my answer to that is almost always, okay, cool. So a bunch of people gave you some strategies that other people around you are making work and you just can't do it and nobody's showing you how to do it. And that's just like, a couple of people, if you go to a gym with another guy and you're walking around and he comes out with the body of his dreams and you use the same equipment, but for some reason you're still a piece of shit. What's the difference, right? Well, the difference is that guy brought a trainer with him, a coach who actually sat there and showed him how to use the tools and strategies to make it happen, right? And so I've repeated that message all year, and all of a sudden we've gotten less of those objections. Like, Rahul, how many of the last grouping of sales calls do you think we've had that objection really in the last little bit out of the people that we've had?
Which objection?
I've been burned out by coaches. I don't want to buy.
I mean, it's 2023, almost every fucking person.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we already know, like, that's already coming down the pipe. It doesn't matter. Like, my gardener fucking burned me by missing last Thursday. I don't give a shit. I'm still going to hire the gardeners, right? We can switch. Yeah. So yes, everybody, 100 out of 100 people will have that objection in their mind, being the victim of their own decision.
Exactly. And so knowing that, right, we come up with this and we repeat this message over and over and over again. Because we know that that's the most common objection that's going to come up. We know that that's the people, what they're going to be thinking. And so we have this content that we're putting out there and the result to go back for it. Is this making sense, guys? Right? Cause and effect. So the one key point here is that we have to understand what it is that we're trying to teach them how to think differently about. So the 2 themes that you guys have all heard me repeat all year long came from us knowing that these objections were starting to pick up. We knew that this was starting to become more and more of a thing. So we wanted our sales team and our people to be able to point at content to help combat that, right? Because that's the other thing. Yeah, we're pre-handling objections, but we're also handling objections. Meaning, if we have a sales call that objection comes up, now we send them to this content. They can see this kind of shit. Oh, we have an answer for that because we talk about this shit all the time. Go look at this. Come back and tell me what you think. The third type of content that we use to make a lot of money, which at the end of the day, guys, we're all entrepreneurs. That's the point, right? We want to make some money with our content. Value. value content. Now, I think that this has about, let's say, purpose. Again, tell people what you do, who you do it for, that you're good at it. Express your unique selling proposition. Right? Now, I limit this now, I would say, to once per week. I think people, like to take the generic shit a little bit too much now and just be like, hey, this is how you get cheap Facebook leads, or this is how you do this, and here's my 3-step method for that, and blah, 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 blah. It's better saved for video content, in my opinion. Unless if you're doing reels, if using reels twice per week. And again, depending on platform, right? So our value content, the main most important thing is hook, and it's value, and then it's always theme. Big hook that gets them in. Here's the method behind it, and here's the thing that I think you're doing the same as everybody else that could be changed by solving this problem. Right? Purpose of this is to fill up your bucket. What we're trying to do with teach them how to think content and value content is create relationships, fill up the value bucket so that when we make an ask, people are receptive to being like, yeah, of course I want to give you money to get more of that. Who wouldn't want to pay to have more access, more information, more of the thing that you're telling us about? You're clearly an expert and you clearly help people just like me. Of course, I want to give you money to make more of that happen, right? Makes perfect sense. And so when we're talking about value, right, the hook, again, the hook, I cannot express this enough. The hook is the most important piece. Let's see if we can scroll through my profile and see if I've done any value-based content. I mean, the reel, this is more something else. Let me see. What is this? Yeah, so like this, for instance. And again, you want to have a good hook. So here's some quick math showing you how easy it is to make $10,000 every month in your digital business. Then the value is, here's the actual math. And then the theme, we can show literally anybody, including beginners, how to do this shit. The numbers don't lie. The only thing holding you back is you. The solution is imperfect action and getting shit done. So theme, value, hook, and then I think a scroll stopping picture where I'm punching the camera in the face, right? Is it making sense? Yes? One's in the chat. One's in the chat. Yep. No ones. Comments too. If I get no comments in the chat, I go to sleep, and then the training stops. This is how I slowly die.
Yeah, that was my snore. I was trying to snore, but no, I'm just kidding. This is good. It's a good stuff.
Let's see if I scroll, find another one. Oh, a couple laughs for this one. Don't know how this one ended up here, but we all get a little giggle, a little smiley face. Good. All right. Keep going. What's this? This is more of a controversial one where I like to poke the bear sometimes. Okay, so here, good. Boom, another one. Value, right? Hook. I scaled multiple coaches and agencies by spending millions on ads. Hook, right? Story and value in this one. Here's a couple of things of how we did it. Here's how you do it. 1, 2, 3, right? And then theme. The combination of organic and paid allow you to really take off doing things right, doing it the GSD way, right? Allows you to do it. You don't have to burn everything down and skip steps. So again, hook. This one is actually hook story. So that's another variation on the value. If you want to add a little bit more to your copywriting skill set, variation on the value. Oh, there's me coming in. Hook, story, value. And it might not seem like it, right? I'm sure this is a common mistake by everybody in every bit of copywriting that they do. But this part is the least important part of your copy. I understand that it takes up the most words, right? And you're like, oh, Cody, it's a value post. What do you mean the value isn't the most important part? I'm telling you right now, it's not. The most important part is your hook by far. And then your second most important part is your theme and the way that you're leaning it in. Why? Because the hook is the thing that's going to get people's attention. And you only really get about this much space now, right? On mobile, especially, which is where 90% of people are going to be reading your shit, you get about this much space. That's why these ones with the purple backgrounds I use so much, right? Because they pop and they take up a lot more real estate on a mobile phone than anything else. And so it's having these ones, like if I can fit the text, if I can shorten a post now to fit on that purple text, I will, because I prefer this is night and day compared to having to use an image, right? I'm not showing it, am I? I'm sharing the wrong screen. Hold on. These ones. There we go. Right? With the purple background. You'll see like 1, 2, 3 in a row, and then 4. So like you can tell these background ones, right, are the ones that pop. They take up enough real estate. They get a little bit more in there, and you're able to make that work. So the hook is the most important part. The theme / CTA, second most important part. And then you get the rest of it. The problem most of you guys have out there is that you spend most of your time on that middle part. Because to you, it makes sense. It's like, well, fuck, Cody, that's all the words. Most of the words are in there. If I divide it up by percentages, 85% of all my words are in the middle. Why the hell wouldn't I? Well, it's because the middle part, again, is just, think of how you read posts. I just read my own post out loud to you guys, and I got through the hook, a couple of things in the middle, and then the theme. That's how I read it, because that's how my eyes go. Maybe your ADHD doesn't kick in as badly as mine, but you get the point, right? That's how people read nowadays. You skim. And so you're more likely to read a hook and say yes or no. And if you say yes, it's okay. I click on see more, and I go boom, 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 bop. So cool, yeah, blah, blah. Do the Seinfeld. What's the Seinfeld thing? It's like yada, yada, yada. So hook, yada, yada, yada. And then you get to the bottom of it and you're like, all right. Right. And so being able to have that correctly, that's where you should spend the most time on. That's what I tell you guys all the time, right? What am I always preaching about offers? The offer is what you should spend 90% of your time on. Everything else, the fancy funnels, the SMS sequences, the sales processes, that everybody wastes all their fucking time on, that comes next. That's to improve on the shit you're already having work with you, which is the offer. Works the same way with your copy. The hook is what you should spend 90% of your time on. All of my future posts, for instance, I'm writing a bunch of Instagram shout out ads and stuff the other day. What did I do? I wrote a whole page of just hooks. There's all the things that I could think of for hooks. And then I went back with my team and I was like, cool, let's pick 3 or 4 of them and I'll actually write the rest of the shit based on what ones of these actually make any sense. And that's what we did. And that's what you guys should be doing as well. So that is the 3 types of content, guys. 3 types of content on what we used specifically. So the post types is granular, overarching content archetypes to give you categories, and how we built a bunch of them and how we leveraged all of that shit to make 7 figures plus just from those content. And of course, a setter team to go with it in the last year. Hopefully that was valuable. Guys, if you have, there's a couple of pieces to this puzzle, right? There was the scary offer training. There's also the 30 days of content in under an hour training. You'll notice that a lot of this shit, I'm just building on it, right? I'm spending an hour or so on different content pieces and topics. I'm going to be referencing a lot of these. For you VIP people, all of this is on the sheet, the sheet, and that sheet is going to be dropped in the chat every single time we're done these, and it's in the course. So it's literally there. So all the recordings and all the titles and all the VIP sessions and all these trainings are all on there for you. So if you don't know where it is, we'll be doing the VIP session in just a second. We're going to start that part of it, and I'll make sure that you guys have that doc. For everybody else out there in Facebook land, if you want the scary offer training and haven't seen it yet, hashtag scary offer in the comments. If you want the 30 days of content in under an hour training, hashtag content, right? Just let us know, guys. We're pretty friendly people. The only thing that we need you to do is find a way to get our attention. And that's usually through the comments. The best way to be getting our attention, though, is to join the VIP session, right? For $7. So you skip your damn Starbucks and you hop on here and you get to just ask me questions face to face, because otherwise you're in the thousands of other folks in all of the different places that we talk. And unfortunately, sometimes your voice can get lost in the crowd. So if you want to stand out of the crowd and you want some FaceTime with us, let us know so that we can get you in the VIP session. I think we're going to wrap this one for now, and jump over to the VIP so that we can give you guys some face-to-face time, get your questions asked, and dive in a little bit. Rahul, is there anything else you want to wrap before we do that for Facebook Live?
Nope. I dropped the VIP link for those that are on the outside looking in and you want to join us. I'm going to stop the stream. So bye to y'all on Facebook and YouTube land. We are going to go into the VIP room. So you guys stick around on the Zoom and we're going to get some